So in this particular video, I'm going to show you an alternative to the AC method called MFDARM, or also called slide and divide. You may have heard it both. MFDARM AC method means a little bit more and makes a little bit more sense because it's more practical and it shows you how you split the middle term and how the factors are obtained using grouping and greatest common factors. Whereas MFDARM and slide and divide tend to be more pattern related and may not drive the concept home, but they will not fail you. Actually, I say they're one and the same. So let's look at what they stand for. Well, the first one, and I call this MFDARM. M stands for multiply A times C. Now, if you remember, when you have a trinomial and it's a quadratic, which are the types that we most commonly factor here in pre-calculus and algebra 2, you have ax squared plus bx plus c. Well, the a and c is your a term and your c term. So multiply a times c. That's your first step. The second step is to factor a times c. So you're going to take that product and you're going to factor it, whatever you got when you multiplied a times c. The third part is the DARM, the dA, is you're going to divide by a. So we have the let's actually keep this working color-wise. We have the M, we have the F, and we have the dA. And so we're looking for MFDARM, so we're looking for an R and an M. The next one is reduce. Whoops. I'm just having all kinds of fun today. And move. So that's where MFDARM comes from. This also is called slide and divide. Again, this is just an alternative to grouping and an alternative to the AC method. So let's go ahead and apply this. So let's look at the first one. Let's look at 5. So I have 2 and I have 5. So I'm going to multiply a times c. 2 times 5 is 10. And the sign is important. It's a positive 10. So there's my multiply a times c. So now I'm going to move to the F. In MF, that means multiply and then factor, not MF like sometimes they use it these days. So I'm going to factor now. And since it's a positive 10, that indicates that my factors are either going to be both positive or both negative. So for example, I can do a negative 1 times a negative 10, or I can do a positive 1 times a positive 10, and both will achieve an outcome, a product of positive 10. Well, I'm looking for two factors that multiply to give me this positive 10, but will add to give me my B term, which in this case is positive 11. Now let's think about this. We've done a lot of factoring already. If I need to have two numbers add together to give me a positive, and my only options are negative, negative, positive, positive, then I'm just going to consider the positive positives. Negative negatives, negative 1 plus negative 10 is not going to give me a positive 11. Now, it just so happens that these two work, positive 1 and positive 10. So that's my factoring piece. So what the heck am I going to do now? Well, I need to set this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my two binomials just like this using my two terms. That's not the answer, though. I'm going to set those two factors, and then I'm going to use the divide by a. Well, what is my a term? It's 2. Well, I'm going to take these two factors that I just got, and I'm going to divide them by my a term. So what do I do now? Well, I'm going to reduce and move. So let's try this. Does 1/2 reduce to a whole number? No. Is it already fully reduced as a fraction? Yes. So that is the move piece. I'm going to take the 2 and move it up front, and that becomes 2x, and the 1 stays put. Slide and divide, you can see. So let's look at the next one. Does 10 over 2 reduce to a whole number? Yes, it does. So nothing is going to move. It reduces to a whole number. We're going to leave it as 5, and you are done. You've just done MFDARM, which is also slide and divide. If you're still confused, again, what we did was we multiplied A times C. We found factors of that product that added together to give me the middle term, the B term. Then I just wrote my arbitrary factors here with those 2 factors I chose, positive 1, positive 10. Divided those 2 factors individually by the A term. Then reduced. What could not be reduced further, that was still in a fraction form, the denominator slides over. Let's try another one, just to get your feet under you a little bit more. All right, A times C. Well, this one is going to be nice and fun. So A times C, so 140 and 56 is 196. And again, this is positive because it's a positive times a positive. Positive 7, positive 28. What are some factors of 196 that would give me positive 53? Well, again, a negative number is a number that can be achieved, a positive number can be achieved by negative, negative, or positive, positive. So let's use this as an example. Negative 2, and let's not use this handwriting as an example. So I can do negative 2 times 98, negative 98, or I could do positive 2 times positive 98. Remember, every pair of factors can be a negative, negative, or positive, positive when you're trying to achieve a positive result. But I want positive B terms, so I'm not going to be looking at any negative pairs. I'm looking at all the positive pairs. So let's choose something else. 53, what's something I can get that would be at least close to 53? Well, if I look at all the factors of 196, I've got to find something that adds to 53. And this is tough because this is a big number. So let's look at 49 and 4. And again, you can just get this by using your calculator. I'm just a little bit of a math nerd, so my brain works on this stuff. Those are another set of factors. Well, right off the bat, you can see these 2 guys right here are going to give you what you want. What you really, really want. Let's not get into the Spice Girls. So I'm going to write my 2 arbitrary factors. I have my x plus 4, and I have my x plus 49. Again, I picked these 2 and put them in. Next is to divide by A. Well, my A term is 7, so I'm going to put that over 7, and I'm going to put that over 7. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce and then move if necessary. So, is 4 over 7 reduced already? Yes, it is. It's not a whole number, so I don't want a fraction. That 7 slides in front. That becomes 7x plus 4. Is 49 over 7 reduced? No, it's not, but I can reduce it. 49 divided by 7 is actually it comes out evenly, 7. So I don't have to do any moving. I just reduce x plus 7, and I am done. This method takes a little bit of practice, but it will never fail. It will never fail. It will always work. Again, the grouping part, using the AC method, will make more sense to you and provides a better picture of the exact process you're following and why it works to use the AC method, why it works to break it down that way and split. This is just more of a shortcut. And like I said, it will always, always work. And just like in the other ones, if you can't find any factors here that give you your B term, then it's not factorable. So this, in a nutshell, is how you use the MFDARM method or slide and divide. And MFDARM, sometimes you'll see it written like this. And again, that means multiply A times C, factor that product, divide by A, reduce, and move.